Insults and interruptions, that seemed to be the theme of last night's debate. Our political expert Brian Browne from St. John's joins us now to give us his take on the debate debacle. And Brian, both President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden spent the 90 minutes talking over each other. There was name calling, just plain rudeness. And there was one part that a lot of people are talking about today. Let's listen in.
Vote and let your senators know how strongly you feel. Vote now.
Are you going to pack the
Make
court?
sure you, in fact, let people know
He doesn't want
you're a
to answer the
senator.
question.
I'm not going to answer the question
Why
because
wouldn't you answer that
because
question?
the question
you want to put a lot of
the
new
question
Supreme Court
is
justice,
the
radical
question,
left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen,
I actually had to rewind what I was watching because I was like, who said that? You know, what was going through your head while watching this debate?
Well, the debate was an embarrassment, and it doesn't even merit the title of a debate. It was really a distressing demonstration of the decline of discourse in our American democracy. It was terrible from start to finish.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what happened to civility? Have we ever seen this before, and how did we get here?
Well, I think it really is, sadly, a sign of the times. You see it on social media. You see it actually in real life often. You know, we have lost that ability to disagree without being so disagreeable. And it really, you know, I think President Trump's strategy was to come out of the box on offense, but he quickly went from offense to offensive. And Joe Biden, you know, I think his campaign strategy up until last night was to be the adult in the room and have that healer type of way about him. But even he slipped into the ugly discourse. It was awful.
Right. And do you think the moderator, Chris Wallace, could have done better? President Trump seemed to have issues with him. Let's listen to this.
So my question, sir, is what is the Trump health care plan?
fine. Well, first of all, I guess I'm debating you, not him, but that's okay. I'm not surprised.
What do you think? Do you think he was doing all he could to control them? And also, do you think he was kind of taking sides? He said, I'm debating him or you.
You know, as I was watching this last night, I really thought this should have been held on Zoom, where the moderator could have just muted the mics, because that's really what you needed, a switch to turn off the back and forth. I felt for Chris Wallace. I think he had a tough job, but there were times where I thought that he could have stepped in or interceded sooner. You know, it's almost like being a teacher in the classroom or an adult in the room. You have to set the tone early. And he did not do that, and he let it go on too much. And, you know, it wasn't a good night for him either.
Yeah, funny, adult in the room for a presidential debate. But the candidates were asked about the Supreme Court, and Biden did have words on that. Let's listen in.
The justice, and I have nothing, I'm not opposed to the justice. She seems like a very fine person.
Yeah, Joe Biden saying there that he liked the president's pick, Judge Amy Coney Barrett, but a lot of the Democratic Party doesn't. Senator Schumer wouldn't even meet with her. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it puts him in a tight spot because at one point last night he said that he was the Democratic Party, but then to your point, many of the Democratic senators are boycotting even meeting with Judge Barrett. So not a good spot for him to be in. He also did not come out very clearly and say that he was against the idea of packing the Supreme Court in the event that Judge Barrett does successfully move through the process. So he was a little stilted and unclear on that issue.
All right, so all in all, who do you think won the debate?
Well, I can tell you who lost, and that's the American people. You know, I think in one sense, Joe Biden, you could say he won by not losing. You know, he avoided some major gaffes and malaprops, which he's prone to. But he did not have a great night. President Trump clearly, you know, was way too offensive and too over the top. So I would kind of call it a draw or maybe a wash, and we'll see what happens next time.
All right, Brian Browne, political science professor at St. John's University. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you next week for the vice president's debate.
Thank you.
If you're watching Currents News on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and then click on the bell to get instant updates about all of our newest content, because we are putting your faith in the news.